You're listening to the Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy and Metal Mike.
All right, you know where you are. This is the Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy. That's Metal Mike. Metal Mike, we got a special guest. Who do we have with us today?
We have the one and only Courtney Cronin, formerly known as Courtney Cronin Dole, stand-up comedian, an amazing person, cool as one of the best interviews I've ever done at RockNPod. The first time I met Courtney, though, I'll never forget, it was the second RockNPod, and she was doing her stand-up, and I had a bit too much to drink, and I swear I thought I was about to hurl, like for real, man. So I got up to go, and of course, right then, Courtney, like, calls me out. I forget what you said, man, but you were like busting my chops, and I was all like, I'd really like to laugh right now, Courtney, but I think I'm gonna hurl. Oh no! Turned out to be false alarms, just dry heaves. Got over it, and after that, I felt fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, man, it was just kind of funny, man. That was when I first met.
Oh, at Zany's.
Yep, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which was with you and Craig and Don, and it was a lot of fun.
No, it was Earl Skakel.
That's right.
It was Earl Skakel. I wish he'd come back.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to head you on because we've interviewed you before. I know you got the whole punchlines and backlines thing, which is something that I'll let you explain to the listeners and the viewers exactly what it is, if they do not know. That's pretty much how we've got to know you here on the Plug Podcast, and it's always a lot of fun. I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. I also want to mention that two of the guys I think that would have been amazing for that are no longer with us, and of course that's the late great Ozzy Osbourne and Ace Frehley. I mean, those two dudes, you wouldn't even had to probably tell them jokes. They could have just got up on stage and told crazy stories about the things they did on the road. They would have been amazing at that because they were both really funny, naturally funny people anyway. And but anyway, if you could let us know exactly what Punchlines and Backlines is.
Courtney, you've talked to Metal Mike off the mic. He's exactly the same on the mic. Just interrupt the dude.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, first of all, last time I did the show with you guys, not the time we did the summit thing, but like at the RockNPod, I remember, and we talked about Ace doing Punchlines and Backlines. And
Right.
I've only spoken to him a few times. You know, I was there a lot to see the shows, but and worked a few events with him. But I only spoke to him a few times. And one of them was John introduced us, and he's like, "Ace, this is Courtney. She's the comedian, and she does the show, you know, where the musicians do the comedy, and she does." And then he goes, "And she does jokes about you." And I went, "Wait, hang on." I was like, flattering jokes, and then he couldn't hear me, so you know, because you had to yell, and like it was like.
Well, I know he was hard of hearing, yeah.
Yeah, he was hard of hearing, so I was like, "They're very flattering jokes, Ace," and he goes something like, "Oh, that's okay." He's like, "You can do jokes about me. I'm funny," and I said, "I know, you're funnier than me."
He is hilarious. He was hilarious, man. He was, and I mean, like, and we just done a special about Ace, you know, because it's like it's a double whammy for me, because if I had a Mount Rushmore for my favorite guys in rock and metal, I mean, if I had infinite space, unlike the real Mount Rushmore, I'd have about 1 million people on there. But Ozzy and Ace are very, very important to me, man. I mean, Ace was my first rock hero. Like, literally, Kiss was my gateway band. So, yeah, that one hurts. And then Ozzy, I'm the biggest Black Sabbath Ozzy freak. Well, maybe not the biggest. There's a lot of us out there. But, you know, you're talking about two guys that I think were probably the most beloved members of their bands to many.
Yes. Yes,
you know,
they were very well liked, well admired. I mean,
and
they were larger than life. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, I do. Now that I remember, I do remember you mentioning that, because I thought at the time, oh man, he would have been amazing on that. He would have, because he's just a natural. Him and Ozzy both, man. I mean, Ozzy would have. like I said, I think with Ozzy, you could have. Another guy I think would probably be pretty good at it would be David Lee Roth, because he's pretty funny too.
Oh, that would be great. Well, the thing is like, it's not really about funny. That's the thing. It's like, it helps. It really helps if you're a funny person. But like, doing stand-up is just, it's flexing a different kind of muscle.
Oh, for sure.
And like for Ace, like he would not do, I don't think he would want to do it the way that I do it. He would want to tell his street jokes. You know, he always had all those street jokes.
Right.
And that would have been amazing. Like, we would have been like, dude, whatever you want to do. Like, everybody has a different way that they want to do it, which we've come to figure out now. Like, we've expanded the formula. There was kind of a formula that I was using, but now we've expanded it because a couple of the people that do the show tell stories, like Eric Martin from Mr. Big,
funny
storyteller.
He was great. He was great, by the way.
Yes, he's a storyteller, and Reb Beach, who we've been doing shows with, like we did some road shows with Reb.
Oh,
we did
nice.
a couple shows in Pittsburgh. We did a show in Nashville with him a few weeks ago. We were all in Nashville together, and it was fun. Like, most of Winger was there, and David Bryan from Bon Jovi played the piano and like played us on and off and goofed on us and everything, and we had such a good show. It was really fun. So Reb's been doing it like regularly because his schedule just freed up a bit. And I was like, hey, let's ask Reb if he wants to do some shows. And he was like, yeah. So
right on.
Doing like 4 shows with Reb on the road.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been really fun. So we're going to do some more, actually. In February, we're going to come back to Pittsburgh with Reb.
Nice.
We're lining up some shows, some in Ohio. And yeah, just Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Right on. Well,
But,
I want to say, if you ever make your way into the St. Louis area, let me know, man. I'd love to see you.
I will. In fact, that's it's kind of being worked on. Like, we're trying to put this together as like a special so it can go on the road. But in order to get, it's a whole booking is crazy and a pain in the ass, and
I'm sure
routing
and probably coordinating everybody's schedules too, right?
That's really hard.
Because a lot of these guys have what you call a day job. They're musicians or whatever. So I'm sure there's that. What do you call it? You got to factor that into it as well, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then we totally got sidetracked. I'm sorry, but what was I going to say about the stories? And about Ace. Yeah, that was my dream. Craig actually tried to talk to him about it a few years ago. He's like, I tried. I just don't know if he knew like that you actually have people already doing it. Like I think he thought it was an idea, and we wanted to build it around him. Which I would have changed anything he wanted to have him do it.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been like, sure, whatever you want, And, of course, in my head, I'll always, imagine that it would have just gone so perfectly and wonderfully, which I think it would have. I think he would have told his jokes, and it would have been hysterical, and it would have been fun. And, I would have put someone else on the show with him, like maybe one of the guys in the band, like, Scotty's never done it before, and I think he would be amazing, and he's always been on my short list. So,
yeah,
because all the other guys have done it. Ryan's done it, Jeremy's done it, and Philip Schaus has done it. And Steve Brown has done it, and PJ Farley have done it. PJ's done it a few times, and he's done it in a real comedy club, which a lot of people would be very scared to do, but he did.
Well, just so you know, I have done stand-up before. I have done stand-up before, many, many years ago. And and I'm not a musician, and I think getting up in front of a crowd to do anything, that's nerve-wracking enough. It's not easy getting up there and trying to entertain people. And but with a band, at least you have your bandmates there with you. So if you go over, great, you can share it. And if you don't, well, you're not. When you're a stand-up, it's just you, man. And you succeed or fail on your merits alone, and it isn't. It can be very jarring, man. I ended up getting a standing ovation, so that was cool. Had my moment, it was fun.
That's great.
Yeah, but unfortunately I just had family obligations and stuff, so I couldn't really pursue it. But I went up a few times, man. Huh?
So you just had no more jokes. It's okay.
Bushy, I'm funnier than you on my worst day, dude, because you do the same tired ass jokes all.
Well, of course, I like dad jokes. What is the process, Courtney, when you're picking these different artists? I mean, is it just convenient? I know this guy, or do you reach out, do a little more work?
Well, before we get to that question, how are you doing based on your recent post about quitting smoking?
I am almost at 24 hours.
Okay, congratulations.
Almost. Thank you.
You got 20 more days that are going to suck ass. And then once those 3 weeks are done, your body is physically not addicted to nicotine anymore.
Right.
And then the mental work begins.
Today. Nothing. I have some of those Zyn pouches. I was like, okay, if I'm about to choke somebody, I'll go ahead and pop one of those in. But I haven't needed that yet.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I was pulling the rug out at my friend's house. We were watching a movie and I didn't realize it, but I was pulling the rug apart.
Yeah.
And it's been 13 years for me, and we'll move on. But there's a book called The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, and someone told me to read it, and I'm like, whatever. Like, a book is going to help me quit smoking. I read it twice, never smoked again. It's helped millions of people. Because nicotine patches, you're still addicted to nicotine.
Nicotine, yes, that's why I'm trying.
You're still addicted. So, like, the whole point is to get rid of it all.
Yeah.
Because you don't want heroin if you've never done heroin. It's kind of that common sense kind of thing. Anyway, it works. So the guy who recommended it to me was a chimney. And I never thought this dude, he smoked out of his butthole. This guy smoked so much. And he quit from the book, and I was shocked. So when I saw him do it, I did it, and then I never looked back. 13 years. 14 years.
Great. What's the name of that book?
Anyway, it's called The Easy Way to Quit Smoking.
I'm just going to write it down.
Yeah, just write it down. And even when you open it, he's like, you can smoke while you're reading this. Light one up. And you're like, okay, dude, whatever. And you do. You smoke and read it. And then at the end, you're like, oh, shit, okay. But you have to want it. So anyway.
I do. I'm done with them, but...
Yeah.
Look, hard. I didn't kill anybody at work today.
That's good.
My daughter did say that she wasn't sticking around, so she left with her fiance for the night.
I would get the hell out of there too, yeah. Days 1 through 3 are like the detox days, so.
Yeah, to get it out of your bloodstream days. And,
yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man.
Gonna punch a baby.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for you, bro.
Send
a positive energy your way, bro.
Yes, you can do it. You can do it.
Absolutely.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I remember it every time I try to walk up this hill I live on.
Being able to breathe was nice. Yeah, when that came back, that was nice.
I was wanting to quit anyway because my cholesterol levels are a little high, and I'm fighting a doctor because she wants to put me on pills. And I'm like, look, I'm not 51 yet. I'm not going on some lifetime drug. So I started changing my diet, but I've got to get rid of that too. I was like, let's just change everything all at once.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting old is awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's the absolute worst. I mean, I'd take it over the alternative, but still.
Sure.
Don't get me started, man.
I know. It's so weird. I never thought I'd be like, oh, I can't have that. It gives me heartburn. Like, I never thought I would say that. Saying the things that I say. Like, I can't lift that.
Right. Sucks, man. Like when you hurt yourself just doing everyday menial tasks, you're like, oh, and you're just like, what the hell, man? You know, yeah, it's just not cool, man. It's not cool.
Just sneeze wrong at our age.
Right, yeah.
Stupid.
You can sneeze and throw out your back. You can.
Yeah,
They're done that. You know?
Yes.
Isn't that bad?
Yes.
God, it's stupid.
So, with how did that start, the whole punchline and backlines? Like, what was the genesis of the idea? Because you've been doing it now for a number of years.
6 years. Yeah. We're coming into our 6th, it'll be, coming into our 7th year. Well, it started because I worked on these roasts, And I just thought they were so mean, you know? And I worked on the rock and roll roasts with Craig and with Don and Jim Florentine. And they, and as a writer, you're very disconnected from the talent because you're in an office, you're at home, you're not really talking to people.
Right.
And I think some of the material kind of got a little out of control because, you know, on the Comedy Central ones, they have all this legal and stuff like that. We didn't really have that. We kind of had free reign. So we didn't have legal looking at our stuff and taking stuff out and double checking things. And it was like,
right.
I had to do that and our executive producer had to do that. And, you know, a couple things slipped through the cracks. And one of them was a joke that really offended Lita Ford.
Oh. And
I had so much fun writing with her, and it was the Dee Snider roast, and we had the best time.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was so much fun, and and we showed her the Zach Wilde roast and how brutal it was, and just what to expect. And, you know, and then we kind of policed the jokes to make sure no one talked about her recent divorce because it was very, very
right. I know. I know a little bit about that. Yeah. So, yeah.
And she was, you know, it was a vulnerable time for her. And her manager thought, you know, this is a great way to get back on the scene because she's been she's been like going full speed ahead ever since, you know, which is great. But what happened was Penn Jillette was the roast master, and he didn't want me to have his script, and his writer was such a dick. Sorry, dude. You were a dick and you were rude to me. You could have worked with me, but you didn't want to. Don't know why, but he was just not helpful. And the whole thing was really stressful because it was on live TV. But anyway, Penn was cool, you know, like he was cool, but he like definitely had a crush on Lita, but like who doesn't?
Oh, it's Lita Ford, yeah.
They all did. You know, and he's like, hey, is Lita single? Could you introduce me to her? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You know, and he's like, well, what if I made a joke, you know, because like her kid's last name is Gillette and my last name is Gillette. Like, what if I made a joke like that? And we just didn't think it would be offensive to her because he said something like, well, my last name is Gillette and your kid's last name is Gillette. So what I'm saying is, let's fuck. And like, that was the joke.
Oh.
Right. It really hurt her feelings.
That sucks.
And it really hurt her feelings. I mean, we did prepare her that they were all going to make jokes about wanting to have sex with her.
Right.
She was fine with that. And she had comebacks for it. Like, she came back and slammed them so hard. Like, I had her open with "Welcome to the Roast of Dee Snider," or as I like to call it, 9 guys I would never fuck. That was her open.
I remember that.
Okay, so that was the line I wrote for her because she wouldn't. And Dee and Suzette are like her best friends. She was like living with them.
Yeah.
After her divorce. So she's very close with them. Anyway, someone else made a joke about her past and about dating and something, and it was just a little bit harsh. And she was so fresh from all that trauma she had just gone through. To be in a roast already is hard, but to be when you're at a sensitive period in your life.
When you're emotionally vulnerable like that, yeah.
Yes, and she was the only woman up there, and she took every vagina joke under the sun, which I also prepared her for. They're going to go, oh, you're old, your vagina's dry. You know, it's going to be stupid. And, you know, they said those things, you know, but there were these little things that went through the cracks that did hurt her. And I remember Craig and I were both devastated about it. She left the stage. She looked like she was going to start crying. She locked herself in the bathroom. Scott Ian had to go get her and get her out of the bathroom. I remember I almost fainted because we were on live television. I'm like, what is happening? I remember I like laid into her manager. I'm like, why you like, you put her on a roast, man? I go, when did all this, you know, like, I didn't know all these things had happened to her until right up until the roast. I didn't know those personal things about her. Why would I? You know,
Yeah.
She didn't share that stuff with us. It's none of our business, but as we got closer, we did learn some things. And when we were asked what to take out, I went, through it with her manager. But anyway, mistakes happen and roasts are mean. And this happens every single time somebody gets their feelings hurt or there's a fight. It happens every single time. They just don't really talk about it, because comedians kind of keep it in our world. We don't release that, but it does happen. And she was so hurt that it hurt me.
Right.
And I remember I was like devastated for a while. I remember I had to fly to Germany the next day and I had all this anxiety and I felt like I couldn't sleep. I just felt terrible about how it made her feel. And it really bummed me out because she was so funny and she got huge laughs and she was just really shining up there. And I'm such a fan and I admire her so much, obviously. Like not a lot of chicks, not a lot of dudes can do what she does. So I really wanted to make sure that, everything was perfect for her. Well, anyway, like a few months later, Craig and I were doing a show and Dee and Suzette came to the show and I had helped Dee's son with something. So he was like really grateful. He's like, thank you so much for what you did for Shane. That was such a big help. And I was like, anytime, sure. And then he's like, he wanted to talk to me about what happened with Lita. And he's like, what happened there? And, we talked about it. And I told him, and Craig and I told him we were so devastated and we were so upset. And, we thought we did a good job of policing humor, that we didn't want to hurt anyone, and then that did happen and how sick it made us feel, and the executive producer too, he felt absolutely awful. So did Penn, like terrible. So Craig sent her a nice letter, like an apology, because one of his jokes also upset her. And so I was like afraid. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I saw her like a month later at a KISS event. She was there. And I'm like, I'm going to go apologize to her. And I was like shaking. I was nervous. And Joe Polo went with me and he held my hand. And I was like almost in tears. Because she did an interview where she said, I don't like that stuff. I don't like the ripping on people. And she kind of trashed the event, but it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. So then when we saw that, we were like, oh God, we really, really upset her. So I made a point, this is such a long story, to go talk to her.
Hey, no, man, keep going.
And tell her how genuinely sorry that everyone was, that none of that was supposed to ever, hurt her in any way. And that, we armed her with the best jokes because we wanted her to come out swinging, which she did. We gave her the best jokes, and how sorry I was. And I was like in tears. I was like, Lita, I admire you so much. I was so honored to work with you and be your person. And my job was to take care of you. And that happened. And that's on me. And I take full responsibility. And it was just so wonderful working with you. And I'm so terribly sorry that you were hurt by anything that was said. And she was really sweet about it. She gave me a hug and forgave me. And I was like, wow, I never want that to ever happen again. I don't want that to happen again. So I did one more roast after that. And then that was the roast where Sebastian got offended and threw coffee at Don's head. And I'm like, okay, how do we do this where no one gets upset and it's fun? And how do we do this? So I'm like, why don't we make it stand up? But I had to find a way to make it fun. So why don't we make it their very first time so there's no pressure? And then we'll write it and we'll write it together. And then we'll put other comics around them. So they go on like third, like in the middle. So the crowd's warmed up. And then it's like the big surprise. And then we'll have a headliner. And that's what I did. And so I called the other MC in town that I knew not so well, named Izzy Presley. I was like, I'm gonna call that Izzy guy. He's friends with everybody. He hosts a bunch of stuff too. Like we were always hosting things, but we never worked together. So I was like, Izzy, you want to help me out? He's like, yeah. Called Jason Christopher. Jason said yes. Craig's friends with Jason. Craig and I got together with him. We wrote out a set. He invited all his bandmates. He invited a bunch of people. Prong was there. The guys from Corey Taylor's band were there. It was like crazy. And he went up and killed, and it was the most fun. And I'm like, all right, let's keep it going.
Right on. That's awesome.
So that was the first show, and it's just been forward ever since.
Well, I think that's really awesome that you were able to take something that unfortunately was painful and was awkward, and you took it and you made a positive out of it. That's great that you were able to do that. So
well, they were all so funny. Like Zach Wilde was so funny. Yeah. And I'm like,
he's another one that's pretty naturally funny. He'll do the little videos on Instagram where it crack me up all the time, man.
Oh my God. His videos are hilarious. His joke delivery is flawless. Mm-hmm. He's going to be on the cruise.
That's awesome.
Maybe he'll do our show. Dawn and I are going to ask him.
Cool.
We're hoping he says yes. We'd like to have him. And I'm not supposed to say, I'm always supposed to not say anything, but whatever. It's okay. But, and then another person.
Nobody listens to this.
Who maybe plays with toys that are dangerous. Maybe someone like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I'm going with this one. Because we're going to go back to the first timers. We've done 2 big shows of All Stars.
Cool.
Yeah. So now we're going to go back to the first timers.
Well, like I said, I've been to several of them. They've always been a lot of fun. It's just, and I think it's just a really cool thing that you're doing. I've always been, obviously, I'm a fan of music, particularly hard rock and metal, but I like all kinds of music. But I've always been a big fan of stand-up comedians too. So I respect the hell out of what you guys do, because, like I said, I know from experience it's not easy, man. And go up there, because how folks are. They're like this, entertain us, motherfucker, and you're like,
And those are the only people we remember. We could have the best show ever, and we remember this guy.
Yeah,
or girl.
But but at the same time, I just think it's really cool what you guys are doing, and in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I would love to see you. Keep doing what you're doing, but just take it I think this would make a great streaming thing for some kind of streaming platform or something like that, because
we're working on.
Yeah, well, there you go then, man. It makes total sense.
I'm editing it right now, actually.
Oh, sweet. Oh, cool. All right then, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess great minds think alike, Courtney.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I just think it's really cool what you're doing, and just keep doing it. And, we here on The Plug, almost all us podcasters, we love you to death, man. You're awesome. So
I love you guys. I always say RockNPod is the planet. I finally found the planet that I'm from.
You know what? I kind of agree with that statement. I have a lot of real life friends, they love me to death, but most of them don't listen to my online radio show. They don't listen to my podcast. I'm even joking.
None of my friends.
Do you? And they'll go, no, not really. I'm like, oh, well, thanks for the support, fucker. And they'll laugh, But I also know, they love me to death, and there's certain aspects of me that they get, but there's certain things they don't get. They might like music, but they're not as into it as I am. And I've always been that guy that, I'm just going to say, I'm a fucking nerd, man. I love the minutia. Whether it's music,
look,
movie.
I got a nerd room like you guys. Look at all my nerd stuff. And look who's up there in the middle. Woo.
Right. There you go. All right.
Cool. The Spaceman. Yeah. That's been there for a long time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. My Kiss thing's over there. I might have to take it off the wall and show you guys, but
most of mine's in front of me, so
yeah. But as I said, for me, it was a big, like I said, the whole going back to Ace and Ozzy and all that. Yeah, it's just like I said, those guys were. Ace was my first rock hero, man. From 5 years old, I've been, so for me, it's just like, man. And between that and some personal stuff going on with my family, I'm like, you know what? 2025 can, fuck off eternally, right?
It can.
I'm almost done with it. Pretty good.
It can suck a toe.
Other than Ace going, my 2025 is trying to end on a good note. So.
Again, dude, it's like it's anything in life, though.
Okay, Smokey. Just kidding.
Right. It's good and bad, brother. You know what I mean?
It's good and bad.
It's not. because that's life, but it's just one of those things. And it's something we're just going to have to get used to. Like it or not, we're not getting any younger, let alone our heroes. And it's just one of those things that it's just facing that reality that,
I'm trying to do more of that in my stand-up. I actually I did 3. I was in Lake Tahoe over the weekend. I had 3 shows there and another show in California. And so I tried to build in to see how much of my rock stuff would actually work with a mainstream audience. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to see which stuff works, but all the stuff I was working in just about, going to shows and getting older, it was the crowd was what do you want? What do you want? This to start at 6. What do you guys want? Chairs?
Right. I know what you're talking about because the last concert I went to was I went to see Cavalera Conspiracy, Max Cavalera and Igor's band, where they produced Chaos AD in its entirety. And then they did a tribute to Ozzy. They did their version of Symptom of the Universe, man. It was awesome. But by the time we got tickets, we had to get general admission. We couldn't get balcony, and I'm an old guy now, man. I got diabetes.
I want a chair.
Oh my God. Standing there, it was an amazing show, but I'm going, my dog were totally barking, man, by the time it was over with. I mean, I enjoyed the concert. They were amazing, but I was like, oh my God, this is why I don't stand anymore. It shows. When I was young, man, it wasn't that big a deal, but as you get older, unfortunately, man, even if you work out and take care of yourself, it just takes its toll. It sucks, man.
No,
it really sucks.
It's so true. I forget, a couple times I was at the Whiskey to see some people, recently, and Trickster, and then Quarantine was there, and it's what time are they going on? It was 11. I'm like, what? Why?
At night?
Why aren't the young bands going on after? Make them wait.
Yeah.
Right.
Make them wait. Let the headliner go on when they want. They earned it.
You got a valid point there, Court.
They earned it. They can go on whenever they want.
I agree. I concur.
That's what I think.
They do this on time. I'm gonna make that early bird special.
Right.
We did a show at 6:00. I did these 2 shows in wine country. One was at 6 and the other one was at 8. It was wonderful. I was done at 9:30. It was great. I was this is so great. And then the guy even said, he's maybe I should do it at 5:30 and 7:30.
Right. I kind of, not the same exact thing, but like I said, I do and Bushy does one too for the online radio station that I'm a co-owner of, Cranium Radio.
Yes, your Cranium Radio, I've seen. Yes.
Yeah. But Bushy does a show on Thursday evenings, and I do mine on Friday nights. And for the longest time, I did. When I first started, it used to be an overnight show, and it used to be 6 hours. And but I had so much fun doing it, and the time would go by so quick, and I was able to build a pretty good audience, especially for late night. Consequently, though, it was interesting. Most of them were ladies of the night and people like that would listen to me.
People that were awake.
They would be sending me pictures, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool, man. Winning. But anyway, what happened was after that, I moved to prime time Friday evenings, and that was with my old station, and I, for a long time, did a 5-hour show. It was 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern, 7 to 12 here, and I just got to a point where I'm like, man, I'm just getting burned out, so I cut my show down to 3 hours. So now it's 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern, 7 to 10, and honestly, I think the shows actually kind of got better by it, because towards the end there, man, some of my listeners, especially the ones on the East Coast, they'd be like, hey, bro, I got to bail, and it, but I think the show's better for it. And I think that, yeah, man, it's because, man, I get tired, man, and I want to chill for the rest of the night. I mean, I love doing it. It's one of my passions in life, and I love doing the Metal Mike show. It's a lot of fun because it's almost as much as a comedy show as it is. I mean, we play a lot of music, but with me and my co-host Bildo for Realdo, aka Bill Roseberry. Hi, Bill. We just have a lot of fun doing the show, and But yeah, cutting it down to 3 hours. So I kind of identify with what you're saying there. It's not exactly the same thing, but it kind of is. It's entertaining and entertainment. And yeah, and I know like Bushy, he moved because he was doing a weekend show and he was just like, bro, I just ain't feeling this. Is there any way I could move to? I'm like, well, yeah, dude, because ain't nobody making money at this right now at the moment. So
no one's making money at anything right now.
Right. So anything
middle
fun
of the day
anyway.
on Sunday, it's like, man, you can't go anywhere. And then by the time you're done, football's on. I'm like,
right.
This can be a different day.
I get it, dude. I get it, man. But yeah, it's a lot of fun and all that. But one of the things I want to get into is a little bit of history about you. You know, like the main question I have is, what was your first love? Was it stand up or music, or did it happen around the same time? And who was the band that? And I'm not trying to be naughty when I say this, is just an expression I use, that broke your musical cherry, so to speak. Who was your gateway band?
I don't have my Me Too button.
Ooh.
You don't need one. If anybody needs a Me Too button, it's hers, which she used a lot when we saw that Kiss Exposed, which was hilarious, by the way, Courtney.
Oh,
where you were doing every time Gene or somebody would do something, she would
anytime it was
like going
offensive.
Oh, it was hilarious, man. I mean, God, that video is so bad, it's great.
Oh,
anyway,
it's so amazing. It's horrible. It's so offensive.
kind of like, but in its own way, just like Phantom of the Park is, man. 8-year-old Mike thought it was the most amazing thing ever, but years later, as a teenager, I saw it late night and I'm like, oh, this isn't near as cool as I remember it being.
I just wanted to see Kiss. And then I remember, I think I was 5 or 6 when the movie came out. Maybe, what year was it?
78. I was 8. I just turned 8 years old. So yeah, I was 5. Yeah.
And I was scared of Gene when he did the fire and the thing. Because when you're little, you think they're real.
Right.
You think they're real.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were my heroes. Like, I was really into, even then, I was a nerd. I was all into Batman, Spider-Man, still into comic books and all that stuff. And my brother, that's how he introduced him to me. He brought home Kiss Alive, like early 76. The album had only been out for a few months. And he's like,
I don't even think I knew any Kiss songs, really.
I didn't either, but again, thank God for older brothers. He'd bring home the record. I had the turntable every time somebody in the family would take a turn, right? And it was my turn, and I had these audio dramas. Power Records presents, and it would be Batman or Spider-Man. Loved him. And my big brother, he was smart. He just bought the record. He wants to listen to it. It's my turn. So he's like, you like them comic book? And I'm like, and even as a 5-year-old, I was like, duh. Like, what kind of questions? I was like, check this out, dude. These guys are superheroes. But they played music. And at first I was like, get out of it. And then when he showed me the cover, I was like, whoa. And then he popped it on, and of course we all know, you wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the land. You hear Douche, you hear the guitar intro and Gene going boom and the explosion, and it was over. And just Ace's guitar playing. And he was my favorite from day one. And as a child of the 70s, it was Gene Simmons who was the one that most people, especially guys, gravitated towards.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, though, at the time as a little guy, just how, I guess even then, beloved Ace was, because every damn guitar player you meet, he's the reason I picked up a guitar. Him and Tony Iommi. It's the truth. Shut up, Bushy.
I'm just going to see how long you go.
My question to you is...
you anymore. I'm just going to look at my watch.
So my question to you is what was your band? Was it Kiss or was it somebody else?
No. I knew them and I liked them, but the first Kiss song I knew was Detroit Rock City, so that was years later. Wasn't it a couple of years later, maybe?
Detroit Rock City.
Or was it out then?
In 76 it came out. So
okay,
yeah,
it would have been out. I knew.
Yeah,
that was the only song I knew as a kid, really. I knew Detroit Rock City because we lived in Detroit. So it was on the radio a lot. So, but my first record that I bought with my own money was the Jake Giles band, Freeze Frame.
Oh, nice.
I loved Jake Giles band. I loved it. And then I really got into Missing Persons and the Go-Go's. Those were my first vinyl purchases.
All right, cool.
For birthday presents. I got Missing Persons and Beauty and the Beat, the Go-Go's. And oh my God, I love that album still to this day as a little girl. And then, I got into pop like Madonna. And then around 4th grade, I got introduced to a band called Squeeze. and I got really super into Squeeze. And I've been a really intense Squeeze fan. Probably, since I was like 9 or 10 years old. Really into them. And they're probably my favorite, I'd say, up there with my favorite. But like rock, didn't really start to happen for me until the hair metal explosion on MTV. Then I started really listening to all that stuff. Before that, like I liked Journey. Like I had Journey, I had The Police, I had Led Zeppelin, like all that stuff. But I didn't really like fully get into it until I saw all the tight pants and eyeliner, and I was like, oh, these songs are pretty good too. Because I liked power pop, and I always feel like hair metal is power pop with 2 extra guitars and some scream.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah.
Like those great melodies and those catchy choruses, like that's the stuff, that I like.
Right on.
Like never, what am I saying? Never enough. Like something, like those kind of choruses. Like I was like drawn to those songs. But also
you're talking to someone that it makes perfect sense to, because yeah, exactly. I was listening to whatever was on the radio. I didn't own anything. I had like Michael Jackson Thriller, and
I had Thriller, yeah.
Maybe the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack on vinyl, maybe the Miami Vice soundtrack on vinyl. I didn't have a lot. I was like 11 years old, and same thing. My dad threw me a couple of Kiss records, and bam, I was hooked on that. But it wasn't until MTV, your Poisons, your Bon Jovi, seeing Ozzy Osbourne, seeing Kiss and all this stuff. Oh yeah, but it was mostly played on Top 40 radio. We didn't have a rock and metal station up there in northern New York, up the Canadian border, so.
We had KLOS here. We had 95.5, and they played all that.
Yeah. And
we had 97.1, which before it became a talk station, it was a classic rock station. So I heard a lot of the stuff on that. When I was 11 years old is when we moved to California. So I heard a lot of stuff on that. But I remember buying singles. I actually found my Slaughter Fly to the Angels singles.
Nice.
In his bedroom.
Those.
And then I found like this random Rat CD. And what album is it? The yellow one. I don't even remember the name of it. I'm like, why do I have this? And like what else? Because I think the first Kiss thing I bought was not even Lick It Up. It was Tears Are Falling.
Oh, Asylum.
Yeah, that was my first Kiss purchase.
Nice.
Right on.
Was because of Tears Are Falling, because of the video. Yeah, I think I skipped Lick It Up. I think I was like, I don't know why. What year was Lick It Up? Maybe I was just...
Lick It Up actually came out before, it was Lick It Up, then Animalized, then Asylum.
Right, but I skipped that is what I'm saying. Like I kind of skipped those and didn't really pay too much attention until I saw Tears Are Falling, and then I was like, wow, Kiss.
Well, there's always that...
This is romantic.
Colors. Yeah.
This is romantic.
Every band has that album that pulls, and Ian Wadley and Ralph say it all the time, that timeline is everything. And it's so true, because I think there are certain bands or albums that are somebody's gateway band. And, it's something that as I got older, I had to realize when people would go, well, that was my first so-and-so's album. That's what got me in. And then they went back and listened to their past, their older catalog and became total fans. So it's like there's always that gateway album or gateway band for all of us, I think. I
was super into Guns N' Roses, though. Like, majorly, I listened to Appetite, like, till it was worn out. I listened to that so much. And then what was the second album? Lies?
Lies, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I like the acoustic stuff on there, overplayed that. And then I kind of trickled off from there and then went back later, kind of. Same with, like, my other favorite band is a band called Crowded House, which is...
I remember Crowded House.
Yeah, I've seen them in concert probably more than anybody else besides Squeeze. But they had a band called Split Enz before they were Crowded House, like 2 of the guys. And I went backwards and went back to Split Enz. I'm like, holy shit, this is some really great stuff. and dug back because I was a little kid when it came out, and they're from New Zealand, so that they had one hit in the U.S. called "I Got You," which everybody knows that song. I think our age, you know it. Do you guys know it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so I had to go back for that. So like my tastes are all over the place. Like I was like super into Madonna, and then.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people always
into Guns N' Roses and Poison and
Metal Mike. Like all you listen to is hard. No, I love all kinds of music. I love all.
Too.
Like I can sit here and talk to you about Mozart and turn right around and talk to you about orbit culture. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah.
I've
seen Ambrosia 10 times in concert.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, I just saw a yacht rock tour a while back, man. Christopher Cross, Men at Work, and Toto, and it was awesome.
Oh, Toto is another one of my favorite bands. I love Toto.
The musicianship is mine.
Love Toto.
Sanity, yeah.
So good. Yeah, I love all that stuff. And yeah, and I'll dig around and I'll dig deep. And that's another thing I love about knowing guys, you guys is like, and in the podcast world, I get introduced to so much cool stuff I never would have really dug deep into, like I always liked Enough's Enough. Like I liked them, and I had, their first 2 albums and I really liked them, but I never really dove into their stuff until I worked with them on the cruise and I met Chip and they did like songs on the set list I had never heard. And I was like, oh, wow, this is some good stuff. And then Chris and Aaron love them. And they're
especially
like, no.
Aaron. He loves him some Enough's Enough, man.
Like, you gotta dig into this. And I'm like, okay. And then Chris got me into Tora Tora, and I'm like, oh my God, so into them. And then it's so cool. I get to work with them. So, on the cruises and stuff. So like when it's time to request things, I always request that I get to introduce them or, do their panel or whatever, like the bands that I love. But man, the dive I took into Enough's Enough, there is just an endless well of awesome songs.
So you can't get enough of Enough's Enough.
I can't. I love them. So yeah, like I get you guys and, doing all this stuff has definitely expanded my tastes, to bands I'd heard of, but I didn't really dig into.
Well, see, it's interesting.
I'm glad I dug into this. This is really good.
It's interesting you said that because it kind of circles back to what I was going to say is that when you said that going to the RockNPod, it's like my planet, my people. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm in a room full of people that get me. They get me. They get where I'm coming from. They get it,
Yeah.
Not everybody, and that's fine, Not everybody gets it, and that's cool, too. Everybody's got their passions or their hobbies, And,
but I could do this all day, like you guys. Like I remember my two of my best friends that I grew up with, I've known most of my life. They were saying, Courtney, why? Like before all this, they were like, the conversation was, I was talking about how I think Mickey Thomas is one of the greatest singers of all time, and they didn't know who he was, and I had to explain it. And I'm like, You don't understand. Just close your eyes and just listen to the man sing. And just how much I love his voice. And they were like, they call me sister with whatever. They're like, sister, you need to like find a place like where you could like talk about all this stuff. Like you need to find like, is there like a radio show? Like this is before podcasts. Like, like that you could do where you could like talk about this stuff. It's like, because you're passionate about it, whatever, but like we have no idea who you're talking about. We have no idea who any of these people are.
Right.
And then just like 5, 6, 7 years later, or whatever it was, all this happened. And I was like, oh, finally.
That's awesome.
Holding it in.
Right. And that's great that you can combine your love of comedy with your love of music like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's amazing, man. Kudos to you. Because seriously, it's great.
And I know nothing, too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm a big nerd, but then I get around, like, even like Don Jameson. Don will be like we were having one of our our monthly let's get together and have a call and figure out our next gigs thing with Reb, and the three of us are on Zoom, and Reb's like, oh yeah, I'm doing the third Black Swan album. I only knew there was one. I felt terrible. I didn't know they were doing a third one. And then Don's like, oh yeah, the second one was really cool, and he starts like flinging out tracks, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Reb, I just know the one song.
Yeah, he's really, I've met Don obviously at the RockNPod, but I've met him, like I've seen him open up for Glenn Hughes a couple years ago, and what was really cool is he actually remembered me and Bill from the RockNPod, and we talked for like half an hour or so, and I was wearing a Crowbar shirt, and he immediately was like, dude, that band's a badass, and we just started talking music. And I mean, I don't know, there's times where it's a little surreal to me, because I used to watch that guy on that metal show like all the time, man. It was like one of my favorite TV shows.
He loves to talk about it. Like,
oh, I know. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah. Just a super cool guy. I think I speak for my co-host when I say that we love Don to death, man.
Well, you have a picture of him behind you.
I do.
I couldn't get a word in edgewise otherwise. Might as well let you speak for me.
He signed that to me and said, keep a podding. Until Bush shut the fuck up.
Oh, you're going to start smoking again if you can't talk more?
Oh, right.
We don't want that to happen.
No,
okay.
I just let Metal Mike go because...
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I get to poke him.
Yeah, that's what you really like to do, you pervert. Anyway, keep a podding, man. Which I was like, thanks, Don. He's just a cool dude, man. Great guy.
He's a very easygoing person, I have to say, because Don's very like even keeled, and I get like a little worked up, like how Sparks will make fun of me on stage and be like, look at her face. This is the most fun thing, and look how miserable she looks. And it's because I care a lot, and I work really hard, and I get like flustered, and I care, and Don always stays like this.
You know what? I'm going to compare it to Chris Czynszak when he first started the RockNPod. I just remember, like, I'm glad somebody's kind of taking it over, because poor Chris, you could just see the stress on his face. And I get it, man. I mean, like, bro, you know.
That's a big thing,
you know? Yeah, you know. And hey, kudos to you, Chris and Aaron, for starting all that, you know, because, again, we wouldn't be interviewing this awesome lady if you hadn't done that, dude. So shout out to the Decibel Geek guys.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Love those guys.
So what's coming up with you, Miss Courtney? What's going on in your career right now?
Well, hang on. What is going on? We're lining up some more Punchlines and Backlines shows for the road. Piecing together this special that is going out. I have an agent who's going to shop it to a couple different production companies that do Netflix specials, Amazon and Hulu specials and stuff like that. So we're there with it. So we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed, man.
We might need another year of footage to really prove that it works. But
bring it to Asheville. Yeah,
we're doing that. So and then I got some shows coming up, and then I've got the Kiss thing. The Kiss Cruise Landlocked, the pre-party, which was going to be like some comedy. I was going to bring like maybe Hal or somebody was going to do stand-up with me. And then the guys are playing Handsome Devils, and then Ace's band, and Ryan, Jeremy, and Zach, and Scotty, and Joey, and Todd, and then Luis and Gabriel. And now it's going to become more of a life celebration for Ace.
Nice.
So there's going to be like a big cocktail party and a toast, and then a few people are going to speak. There's going to be some people who are coming now that weren't scheduled to be there, and then there's going to be a big jam, and there's like some surprise guests coming to that, which I don't think I'm allowed to say, but it's kind of a
Are you going to be filming this? Because where's this taking place?
It's going to be streaming. It's going to be streaming. Maybe somebody whose name rhymes with Shamashton Flock might be there. They might be there. And, some of Ace's collaborators, I think, are going to come. And
awesome.
And so instead of doing a toast and celebrating the life of Ace and going, and now comedy, which is not a great idea, I'm just going to sort of help move things along and just introduce the bands and
kind of be the MC.
Everyone. Be the MC, yeah.
Right on. That's
I mean, that was my job anyway, but like, now, I have my couple little funny Ace things, the joke I do about him that he knows about, that he knew about, and was flattered by. And it's really about Jeremy, and he loves it, so.
Right on.
So they're fine. it's all flattering, loving things, and I will probably just say those few things and then get to it, and then run interference, introduce people, go up in between, whatever, and see people I love.
That's great. I look forward to that. Now, do you know how near in the future that is?
It's November 13th.
November 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Coming up.
And where's it streaming?
They haven't put up a link or anything yet.
Okay.
You guys will hear about it. It'll be on my Facebook page. It'll be on Kiss Cancer Goodbye. It'll be on Creatures Fest. It'll be Joey Casada is the king of promoting, so it'll be all over his shit. So you'll see it.
Okay.
He's pretty good at that. So yeah, just any of our stuff, we'll all post it. I'm sure Ryan and Jeremy will do that too. Ryan's pretty good like that too. So yeah,
that's
it'll be really
awesome.
nice.
Heck yeah. You got anything else, Metal Mike? I don't want to keep her too long. We're just about at an hour.
No, I think we're about done here, man. I mean, thank you again for coming on, Courtney. It's truly an honor.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry Mike talked for 40 of your 50 minutes.
Shut the fuck up.
I was going off on Tangent City. So
Yeah. See, I bring out the tangents in people, dude. Okay, because I go off on tangents, which is nothing wrong with that.
I am
Pretty boy
tangent,
Floyd,
tangent.
all right?
That's right.
Yes. Besides, I mean, the only other question I was going to say is, I ask, I guess, real quick, if you could, I mean, I know how you kind of got into the business, but when you were younger, who was the comedian that inspired you? Like, hey, man, this is what I want to do. Do you had just one, or was there a few, or?
It was Carol Leifer.
Okay.
I saw her and I was like, oh, I want to be her. I still want to be her. She's amazing. And then I just always liked watching stand-up. I used to rent stand-up videos at the video store. When my friends wanted to rent rom-coms, I wanted to rent stand-up videos.
Right. Same here, man.
And stand-up spotlight, and VH1 stand-up spotlight, and Ladies Night Out, and I watched all that stuff. Rosie O'Donnell hosted it, and then Bobby Collins. I religiously watched that. And then the MTV half-hour comedy hour, I was obsessed with. I watched everybody, and I wanted to do it. It just took me a long time to get the nerve, but I was 21 when I went up on stage for the first time. So I've been doing it a long time. I've quit and gone back and quit and gone back, because sometimes it doesn't love you back. Your love of comedy doesn't love you back sometimes. I know a lot of comedians that take breaks or they want to quit. I mean, we're always talking each other off a ledge, which is nice to have that community. Because only comedians understand other comedians. There's language that we have that we only speak. It's hard to explain to other people, but there's this connection that we all have. And
I get it. I can see that. Totally.
Yeah.
I just watch a lot of comedy stuff, when it comes to comedians, and one of the common things they always say is you've got to keep doing it. You got to keep getting out there, and you have to work it out, because if you don't work it out, you're going to kill yourself. You're just going to get bombed and booed, and it's going to be horrible. You got to constantly stay out there and stay busy. And that's insane, because people are fickle, and in this day and age, their interests change at the drop of a hat almost. It seems like it would be more terrifying at this point to go out there. It's like, well, this worked last week, but now...
Well, I think the good thing about being old is I found my audience, and I just stick to it. Like casinos, wineries, rock and roll stuff, women's events, anywhere where there's no people in their 20s.
I hate those
people in their 70s and 80s don't get offended.
Right.
People in 20s and 30s get offended.
Right.
Well, I feel sorry for any young comedian right now, because I'd be like, I don't know. I mean, seriously, because you just said it, Courtney. I mean, I'm like,
and I'm clean.
I know.
I'm squeaky clean. I was doing 30-minute sets and 45-minute sets with not even swearing, like no swear words, nothing dirty at all. But on the cruise, I'm pretty dirty, because people want to hear that.
Yeah.
So I write.
Well, again, you try to. I would imagine, I'm trying to use the word, test your audience or evaluate your audience. Okay, what's going to go over with this crowd? Because different, I mean, like you said, there's different crowds for different things, man. And what one crowd might love, another crowd's going to be like, oh my God, so I can totally see that.
Oh, my first Kiss cruise, I ate shit on the first show. Yeah. I ate a bag of dicks. And then I went, oh crap, I got to reevaluate this. So I had to rewrite my whole set for the second show. And that went a lot better.
Right.
That's good. There's nowhere to go on a boat. It's like, oh, Jesus.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What are you going to do? Hide in your cabin the whole time,
Well, I remember there was this all women's group that I haven't seen again, but I saw them at a couple Kiss things. I don't think they play together anymore. But I went up to them and I was like, hey, can we get a picture together? And my husband was going to take it. And I go, I just thought since we're the only women performing on the cruise, it would be cool to have it. And they didn't give a shit. They could have given a fuck. Wow. They're like, that girl's not funny. I was like, whoa, this is not cool. Nothing like that ever happened again, but that one time. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Cool.
I had a bad day. Come on.
Woo.
I mean, yeah, not everybody hits a home run,
No, I don't think they're together anymore. It's been this was 13 years ago, 14.
That's
I haven't seen them
though.
since.
You treat somebody bad like that, it comes. That's what they get.
That's right, Bushy.
What the hell? Yeah, I'm telling Vixen on you. Okay.
Hey, I like Vixen, but I saw that with Cher Peterson still playing, and I can't remember her name now, the lead singer there. Janet Gardner. Oh, second row center. I've actually, on my YouTube page, she was right there. I mean, we're right there when she's singing Edge of a Broken Heart. It was actually my buddy that high fives her from the second row, because I was too busy filming and then looking over at the new guitar player, Britt Lightning.
Britt's amazing. Britt's done my show twice.
Has she? That's twice. Awesome. I like Britt.
Really funny.
Is she?
2 times she's done it. I love Britt. She's amazing. And the new lead singer, Rosa, the new lead singer of Vixen, she's in Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay. Yeah.
Nuts.
Wow. I haven't heard her. I knew the lady from Femme Fatale was there, and then
I've heard she has a set of pipes, man.
I'm telling you, it's something going with them, and I mean, I loved it with Lorraine. I'm a fan of Lorraine, so Vixen can do no wrong in my eyes, but they always have a great lineup, but I'm telling you, Rosa, you're gonna shit.
You and me.
You're gonna shit when you see Rosa, and you hear it. She's so good.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to check it out now. That's
for sure.
Because I love Vixen. I don't care. I saw them open for Kicks. It was amazing.
I've seen them so many times. I love Vixen.
I've never seen Vixen.
I'm sure you haven't been. You're missing out. They
put on a show.
Sorry.
They are fun. Yeah, they are fun. I mean, the songs they still hold up. And Roxy is just crushing it, and the girls are amazing. The harmonies and the stage presence and just all of it.
I mean, I remember as a young man watching their videos and enjoying that.
Well, as a dude,
I was a teenage boy, man.
Of course you were. I have a joke about them where I say, I was like, I always wanted to be Vixen. I wanted to be them so bad. But I was really nerdy, and I had long, straight brown hair and bangs. I was less like Vixen and more like Bruce Dickinson. Or I looked less like Vixen and more like Bruce Dickinson. So
that's great.
That's my Vixen joke.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Courtney, thank you so much for coming on. I've had a good time with you.
Thank you, guys.
You'll have to come
love
back.
you. You're wonderful.
Do a topic.
Oh, back at you. The feeling is mutual, for sure, man. Yeah. Maybe we could have her come on and do a review of one of her favorite records.
Who, me?
Uncovered. We do a thing called Uncovered Gems or Undiscovered Gems, where it's a band or a album even where one of us is not familiar with it, and the other one is. And, just kind of trying to broaden our horizons, so to speak. And sometimes, Bush, you'll introduce me to someone. I'm like, hey, I really like that. Sometimes not so much, but that's okay. I mean, and then same with me. And when I introduce something, and it's a lot of fun. So we have the last one we did, we had a lot of laughs on. And, that would be awesome if you could come back on sometime and do that. Pick a record.
Sure, that'd be fun.
And we'll listen to it and kind of review it. And, that would be cool. Anytime you want to come on, Miss Cronin, you just let us know. We would love to have you. For real, man. Thank you.
All right. We are going to get out of here. Thank you so much. Metal Mike, get us out of here.
Keep fighting the good fight. Stay metal to your dying breath, and Ozzy bless. Good night, folks.
That's right. Bye, vinyl. We'll see you next time.